Do you wish you had an easy way to mark the complex measurements on your handmade bendy cards? Keep watching and I'll show you how I make a template out of grid paper. Hi, this is Sage Kimball and I'm the Mad Stamper with another technique video for card makers and paper crafters. You've probably already seen the video on how to make a bendy card. If not, you'll find the link by clicking on the eye in the top right corner of the YouTube video player. I wanted to let you in on a valuable tool you can use when you measure and mark your cardstock. I could draw lines directly on the cardstock, but I find this technique more accurate and I can use this when I want to make more cards of the same design. I'll be showing a lot of measurements, but you don't have to write any of them down because I'll give you a link to photos of these templates. I have a piece of grid paper from Stampin' Up! That I've folded in half. I start by temporarily adhering the cardstock to my grid paper and position it along one of the grid lines. Now I'll take my pencil and I'll mark the bottom corners so I know where to position any piece of cardstock that I use with this template. The line for this slot is at 1.5 inches from the right edge of the cardstock. So I'm going to make a mark on that grid line, both below the cardstock and above it. Next, I'll make horizontal lines that will show me where the ends of the slots are going to lie on my cardstock. So the bottom edge of the slot is at 3/4 inch. Now each of these squares is 1/4 inch, so I can use that to help me with these measurements. Then the top of the slot is at 1 3/4, so I'm going to go up 4 more squares and I'll have a 1 inch long slot. I'll go ahead and mark this piece while it's here. First I'm going to mark the horizontal lines. And I just need a small line that will cross this vertical line that I've drawn on the grid paper. And here's the top of the slot. Now I can line the ruler up with these lines that are at 1.5 inches and draw between the two horizontal lines. Now because we're going to cut out a little chunk of cardstock, I'm going to draw a second line very close to the first one, no more than 1/16 of an inch. Next, I'll draw the template for the middle panel, and I'm going to use the same piece of grid paper and just do my marks on the other end. This slot needs to be at 2.5 inches from the left edge. So I'm going to make marks both below and above the cardstock. Then to mark the bottom and top of the slot, I need to mark at 1/2 inch and at 1 1/4 inch. Then I'll line my ruler up along that grid line and make sure it's on the same grid line over on the other end of the cardstock. And I'll draw a short line where that 2.5 inch mark is. Then I'll repeat up here. Now I can draw the vertical line between those two, and then the second vertical line very close to the first. So those are all the markings for the two slots. You can see that now that you have this template, when you want to mark the slots on another piece of cardstock, you just slip it into place and you can draw these lines really quickly and accurately. So they really are worth the extra effort. I'm going to use the other side of the folded grid paper and show you quickly how to mark the measurements for the tabs. Now the tabs go on the ends of the middle and the front panels opposite the end with the 1/2 inch score line on them. First I draw 1/4 inch marks, and then with this middle panel I draw a mark at 3/4 of an inch and 1 3/4 of an inch. Well, I've got it here. I'm going to go ahead and mark the cardstock, drawing the 1/4 inch line and just a mark where the horizontal lines cross. Then I'll do the same thing on the other end for the front panel. And the measurements for the horizontal lines are at 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 inch. Mark the vertical line and the 2 cross lines. And now these pieces are ready to cut the tabs. So it may seem silly to make a template if you're making only one bendy card, but I encourage you to try it for 2 reasons. First, I find my lines are more accurate if I'm basing them on the squares on my grid paper. Second, you'll appreciate having the template if you're going to make more than one card for sure. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment. For more inspiration and instructions, sign up for my newsletter at www.stampingmadly.com. And don't miss another great video. Subscribe to the Mad Stamper YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button now.